I just want to, before I even start to read this, I just want to say that this post, when I read it, I immediately tried to find a post from a few years ago that our longtime listeners will recall. And after I read this, you'll know what I'm talking about. I want to preface this by asking you, please don't judge me for this. I'm already judging you when you say it.
I instantly did too. So go ahead. From the Crush Studio in sunny Florida, this is the Disney Crush Podcast. And now your two tempests in a teacup, Dave and Toni-Ann. This is Dave from the Disney Crush. This is episode 361. Glad you could make it. Glad you're here. We got a lot to talk about. We're going to talk to Toni-Ann about her recent trip to Walt Disney World with her son, Dominic. Not Rich, not Michael. Her and Dominic got to go to Disney together. We're going to find out all about it on this week's episode of the Disney Crush Podcast. Hey, Toni-Ann,
hey,
back
Dave.
from Disney, back from another trip. I mean, you're starting to be like some friends of ours that go all the time.
Right. Well, 2 weekends in a row. What happened was Dominic had bought this Florida resident ticket when we went in July. And it was a 4-day ticket. It was a really great deal. It was $235 for 4 days. And the thing about some of the, not all, but some of the deals they give to Florida residents, you have to look at the fine print. Some of these tickets are good more than like a regular person, not Florida resident, off the street. You buy a ticket, it's good for a limited number of days. I think like 7 days. Depends on the length of the ticket, how long it's good for. Some of the Florida specials that they offer are good for months, and you could use the ticket as you see fit anytime in that time period. This particular ticket was good from May to September 28th. This past Saturday was his last day to use it. I was planning to go with him on the 27th and 28th, but with the storm coming, I thought, you know what, we should go the weekend before, because we already saw that the storm was coming. We went the weekend before, Sunday and Monday. So
that was a good move because
it would have been bad trying to go Friday.
And our heart and our thoughts go out to all those people in Florida and Georgia and Carolina, everywhere.
North Carolina, Tennessee. It went crazy, that storm. Yeah.
Bad storm. A lot of people lost their lives. And it's just terrible storm.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm glad you got to go back so soon. I mean, right the next week, and you got to see our friend Kevin again. So you got a double whammy. You were whining and crying about how much you didn't get to see him last time he was here, and wham, and then
he was whining and crying.
Whining? I don't know.
I was with other friends and not him when he came all the way from the UK to see me. That's what he said. So I spent 2 weekends in a row with him. So I hope he got his fill of me until February of 2026 when he comes back.
Yeah, he got a dose of Toni-Ann, that's for sure. That's good. I'm glad you guys got to spend
some time. Yeah, we had fun. And he finally did get to ride Guardians of the Galaxy with a friend because he rode with me. But once again, the ride went down. The ride was down for a big part of the day. And I think he was actually the bad luck charm. You tried to ride with him and it went down. We tried to go on a boat cruise with him and it got canceled. And now I tried to ride Guardians with him and it went down. So
I think Kevin Curtis Allen's the bad luck.
Yeah. Well,
maybe he's though. Yeah.
He hasn't been bad luck for the podcast though. He's been good luck for us.
Okay.
But yeah. So, and Dom wanted to go to Food and Wine. And I had talked last week about how he had different food tastes from Richard. So we tried a few different things. He wanted to ride Tron. He had never ridden Tron. So we did Epcot on Friday. No, sorry, not Friday. Epcot on Sunday and Magic Kingdom on Monday. Yeah.
Now, did he pick the parks or did?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
He wanted to do Food and Wine and he wanted to ride Tron.
And how many days did he have left on his?
He had two days left on this ticket.
Right.
He used 2 days. Yeah. He used 2 days in July, and that's when Rich used his first 2 days. We all went together as a family in July. And then Rich used his last 2 days the weekend before with you and me and Kevin.
Right.
So.
Well,
Dominic. He's such a sweetheart. He'll do anything for you.
Mhm.
Actually, he came and helped us over at the shop because we got a little bit of water. Did he hear the story about the mom that got busted sneaking her kids in?
No, he did not. He did not hear the story.
Because he had he could have, if he knew about this, he could have said, look, take my tickets. You guys go enjoy yourself so you don't get in trouble.
Right.
But no, he didn't do that. No. And she got busted. The thing about that, I don't know too much about the story. I kind of glanced over it,
Mhm.
but they said something to the effect of that they kind of had their eye on her, and
Right.
they knew she'd been. I mean, come on, how bad is security that it took you how many times before you finally got her?
Yeah. So if people don't know what they're talking about, there was a mom in Disneyland who got arrested. She was bringing her 2 girls into the park, saying they were under 3, saying they were 2 years old. These kids were like 6. If you see because there's this video out there, it's on TikTok. It's out there. You could find it if you look up Disneyland mom or whatever arrested. These kids they look like they're 5 and 6.
Maybe they just were big kids.
They weren't 2, and plus they were talking like their verbal their use of the language was much better than a 2-year-old.
They had her.
They had their sights on her. I guess.
Yeah,
they were looking.
And she slipped through a couple times. I guess. I kind of feel. I'm getting off. I'm sorry to get you off this topic of your son, but we'll get back to him in a second.
It's okay.
But this whole thing with the kid, the three, I don't know. I'm on the fence about even a 3-year-old. I mean, can it walk on its own? Okay, yeah. By 3, okay. Can it eat on their own? Yeah. Can it go to the bathroom? That could be a problem. See, just leave them at home. Just leave them home at 3 and under.
Okay.
But I think Disney, they're being a little greedy. They should have it at 6 years old. Free. 6 and under is free. Yeah. 6 and under free. Yeah.
I don't know. Because
why?
Well, because Mandy's daughter Avery was able to ride most rides when she was 4. She was tall enough for most things. I think there was a few things. I know she couldn't ride Tron when Tron opened, but
See, she can't ride everything. I say, I don't.
You say until you can ride everything, you should be free.
Yes, I say until you're able. That way, there's no problem. There's none of this Snickers in your shoes. There's none of this pushing. Stand up taller, pulling the kid's hair up so they can stand taller. None of that stuff. No. It's six and under free.
Okay.
I mean, they're just money grabbers. Just Disney's starting to be money grabbers. Just stop it.
All right,
Let these kids in for free and have a great time. And guess what's going to happen? They might come back where they might not have because they spent so much money they can't afford it now.
That's true.
Sorry, kids. This is your one and only trip because we can't afford it. But hey, if old Walt's head would just come back for a moment, unfreeze that head and say, look, I want 6 and under, then the family might take another trip and spend a lot more money. That's just my opinion. Hand over fist, get on it. Let's change those rules. Change it to 6 and under.
David.
Wow. Yeah.
Did you see the new Star-Lord?
No, I haven't.
Oh, he's impressive. There are now Star-Lord meet and greets at Epcot. And everyone's saying he looks like Uncle Rico from Napoleon Dynamite. He does not look like Star-Lord. He does look more like Uncle Rico from Napoleon Dynamite. Napoleon.
I don't know. Never seen that movie, so I couldn't.
You've never seen Napoleon Dynamite? Oh my God.
No, we talked about this before. No,
did we really talk about Napoleon Dynamite that you've never
seen? We did talk it before.
When I talk about tater tots in my pocket, you don't know what I'm talking about.
No idea what you're talking about. No, but I agree. Tater tots. Well, unless you're Michael, they don't belong in your pocket.
David, you need to seek out Napoleon Dynamite.
Okay, one of these days maybe I'll do it.
You need to seek it out.
I'll do a marathon.
It's a little indie film. It's a little quirky.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought it was like a big black box.
No, it's a quirky indie film.
Oh, I had no idea.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, well, I like indie films. I like these.
Go watch Napoleon Dynamite.
I will definitely do it now, and okay. I might even force myself. It's going to be like sticking a pencil in my eye, but I might even try to do Frozen, just maybe, so that we can talk about it.
Okay.
I'll do a marathon. I'll do a Frozen and what's his name? Napoleon Dynamite.
Napoleon Dynamite.
Okay, yeah, that one. Then I'll find out what all this stuff is about sticking potatoes in your pocket, whatever. Hush puppies, or what did you say it was? What did he stick in his pocket?
Tater tots. He had tater tots. Mhm.
Tater tot. Okay. Anyhow, let's get back to Dominic because that's where we were going.
Well, I actually do have a Facebook that I have to share.
Absolutely.
I
Absolutely.
can't
Let's
not
hear
share
it.
this.
Share it with me and share it with everybody else because I haven't heard it either. So
Okay.
I'm looking forward to it.
Are you going to do the thing?
Oh,
You don't have a.
I'm fine. I forgot all about it. It's been so long. I'm a little rusty.
You're a little rusty.
On this week's The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly of Facebook. Tater tots in your pocket. I gotta find out what that's all about. Ding!
I just want to, before I even start to read this, I just want to say that this post, when I read it, I immediately tried to find a post from a few years ago that our longtime listeners will recall. And after I read this, you'll know what I'm talking about. I want to preface this by asking you, please don't judge me for this. I'm already judging you when you say it.
I instantly did too. So go ahead.
We are taking our first trip to Disney in a few months. We have a 2-year-old who's potty trained, but just like most small kids, if they drink a lot, they have to pee every 5 minutes. Would people at the park make comments if we discreetly pulled out a potty to let our toddler go potty? Or has anyone else brought a collapsible portable potty with them so you don't have to walk to the bathroom a million times? I plan on having her wear a pull-up in case of an accident. I just want to do everything I can to make our day as easy as possible and as enjoyable for everyone. Well, I don't enjoy anything more than having the person in front of me in line pull out a collapsible potty and letting little Johnny go pee-pee and poo-poo next to me in line. Dave?
Well, you know what I'm going to say.
Yeah, leave the 2-year-old home.
Causing you this much pain and agony and thought and talking about bringing a portable toilet, man, just leave the kid home with somebody.
So here's the thing that I was alluding to before I read this, was that this is not the first time we've heard of this phenomenon of people wanting to and actually bringing collapsible potties to the parks. And I couldn't find it, Dave. I tried to find it. The post from a couple of years ago where somebody was in the Plaza ice cream parlor ordering ice cream, and there was a child in the corner of the ice cream parlor, the busy ice cream parlor right before the fireworks, using a portable potty seat. Especially, the thing that was weird about that one is that there is literally a bathroom right next to the Plaza ice cream shop. Like right there before Tomorrowland Terrace.
I'll say it again, 6 and under, 6 and under.
But I couldn't believe that this person, don't bring your potties
They're just
to
not
Disney.
Self-aware. A lot of people just not self-aware. I mean, that's like common sense. Like, no, and no. We're not taking a porta potty so that you no.
And then what
no.
do you do with it? Like, because you're in line, the kid pees, so now you have pee. What do you do with the pee when you go on the ride?
Nonsense.
And then you have, even if you dump it out, like, I don't know.
I just say, leave the kid home. Oh, jeez.
I love you, Dave.
Leave him home. Just leave him home. No diapers. No diapers. No, none of that. You don't have to worry about it. It's got to be able to walk, talk, and go use the bathroom on its own. Then you can, then we can go. Until then, go watch some Disney on TV or something, and we'll be back in a couple of days. Love you. Bye. See ya.
So, Dave, Dominic was really excited to go to Food and Wine Festival. He's a little bit of a foodie, this kid. So it's really interesting because almost everything I tried with Rich the weekend before was kind of a winner. And some of the stuff I tried with Dominic was not. So I don't know. We went to the noodle exchange and had the beef ramen, and it wasn't good. It wasn't good ramen.
Mm-hmm.
The beef wasn't good. The beef was stringy. And even the noodles, the broth wasn't very flavorful. I don't know. I was not impressed by the ramen exchange.
Okay. So that was a loser.
I mean, the noodle exchange. The noodle exchange.
What
We went
else was
to
a loser.
Well, we had the duck bao from China. We've had that before. It was very similar to what it was before. We had the pumpkin mascarpone ravioli, and it was in a brown butter sauce, but I couldn't find any sauce. It was very dry. It was like a ravioli with pumpkin inside. And I love pumpkin ravioli. I used to have it at Wolfgang Puck's Bistro back when it was in its former location where Haleo is now. I used to always have the pumpkin ravioli in brown butter. And that's exactly what this was, but it wasn't. I don't know. I liked the ravioli, but it needed sauce. It needed something on top of it.
You sound like Rich now. Everything needed sauce.
It did need sauce. Dominic had a donut cider, which was disgusting. He tasted it. He's like, Mom, I should have not got this. And I tasted it, and it was gross.
Well, now you know. See.
Mm-hmm. We went to, that was at Mold and I don't know. There was another M word.
That should have been a big. That should have been a giveaway right there. Mold and something.
No, not
Tastes
mold. Mold. MULELLD.
Okay.
Yes.
We had New York accent just came out.
We had the carrot cake. The carrot cake was pretty good. And he had the Boursin cheese again, the Boursin and fig cheesecake. It was okay. It wasn't the best cheesecake, but. And you had the week before, we had the charcuterie from Spain, which was okay.
How'd you like that?
The manchego was really good. Manchego. It was really good. Yeah. The cheese was really good.
Yeah.
So
did you like the bread? Did you like the bread with the?
Well, I've had pan con tomato at Haleo, at Toledo.
Okay. I'm talking food festival here. We're talking
it was okay,
echelon.
but I'd rather go to Haleo for that.
Well, of course you would. Okay.
But the cheese was high quality cheese, and that's Dominic's favorite kind of cheese.
Yeah, it was good. We enjoyed it.
He gets it all the time. He buys it from the store.
Yeah, that one was good.
He'll come home from work with a bag. I was like, "What do you got?" And then he sits down at the table and he starts cutting cheese and meats and different. He's a little charcuterie kid.
Good.
Yeah,
charcuterie is good.
We forgot last week to talk about the Hawaiian rice bowl with Spam, eggs, eel sauce, spicy mayonnaise, and furikake.
I thought you talked about that.
I don't know. It was good. It was really good.
I could have sworn you talked. Well, if you didn't, it was good. Okay, good.
We had the lamb chop. Dominic and I had the lamb chop with mint pesto and crushed salt and vinegar chips. That was really good. That was from the Australia booth. And that was $8.75. And it was a lot bigger than the lamb chop you and I had a couple of years ago. So that was good. Yeah, I guess that's it. Noodle exchange in China. I didn't take pictures. So that was Food and Wine. We finally did get to ride Guardians with Kevin. So that was a thrill. We used Standby Skipper. So we had the Guardians return time. We had an early, as per when Glenn and Rebecca came on, they said, try to make one in the first hour so that you could get rid of the tiers. So we had Remy planned. That was one of our initial 3. And at 9:25, we had Mission Space, which we didn't need one for, but we wanted to use it so that we could get more. So we tapped at Mission Space at 9:25, rode Mission Space Orange, which I have not ridden in years. I never want to do that again. I forgot the G's on your chest. Just, I shouldn't have done that.
That'll wreck me for the rest of the day.
Yeah. But when I Mission Space, when I tapped the Mission Space, Standby Skipper got a Soarin' next, and then got us Living with the Land right after Soarin', so that they were. Here's an interesting fact that I found out. So you can make up to 3 ahead of time, but you don't have to make 3 ahead of time. So if you make 2 ahead of time, and then at midnight you tell Standby Skipper what you want to get and what time, it'll start looking at midnight for that third one for you. And so you don't have to do the 3 ahead of time if you don't like the times that Disney's offering you. You could ask the skipper, can you find me Living with the Land in the morning or Spaceship Earth in the morning instead of at 5:00 in the afternoon? And it'll do that. So that's what I was able to have Soarin' and Living with the Land like 10 minutes apart. So that worked out. And then we found Kevin, and that was a thrill. And we went to see the China show with Kevin. Last week we saw the Canadian show with Kevin, the 360 Circle Vision movie. This week we saw the China 360 Circle Vision movie with Kevin. Very enlightening.
Yeah, he gets around, doesn't he? That guy.
Yeah. Rode 3 Caballeros. Stand by Skipper did get us Frozen, but Dominic didn't want to ride Frozen. We did ride Remy. I think that's all we actually rode that day. So I probably didn't need but I had it anyway. But Stand by Skipper would have got us anything we wanted. Everything was available. We got Frozen, we got Soarin', we got Remy, which are all tier 1.
How was the crowds?
It was a Sunday. It was Food and Wine, so it was the lines were longer. We had been the week before on Friday, and thought the lines weren't too bad at Food and Wine. On Sunday, they were significantly longer.
Okay.
So.
And what about bag check? Was there any difference there, or
no? The bag it didn't.
No.
I didn't get stopped, and the line wasn't as long like it was the week before.
Okay, then it must have been some kind of fluke or something. Okay,
I don't know.
Maybe they had like something happened and they were checking everybody just about.
I think we've talked about this, that they might have a way to make the sensors more sensitive on certain days when there's a higher risk and stuff.
Maybe.
I don't know. And then we went back to our hotel. We were tired. I had Marriott Bonvoy points from staying at the Dolphin last year so many times, because last year I stayed at the Dolphin for G3 and TDC and Mother's Day. I stayed at the Dolphin several times. I think when Mandy came, I stayed at the Dolphin. So I had a lot of Bonvoy points. I was able to get a free night at the Spring Hill Suites at Flamingo Crossings. So it was a totally free night. I think they did charge me $10 for like fees for tax for parking or something. But other than that, it was free. And for free, it was good. But I got to tell you, I liked the room next door at Town Place better. It was the room next door at Town Place was bigger. It wasn't as new looking Town Place suites, but the room itself was bigger.
Now, was that $10 upcharge? Was that for the resort fee?
No, it was parking.
Parking?
It was a $10 parking fee. Well, they don't have a resort fee. They don't have a resort fee, but they do charge
say
$10.
that, but that's kind of what that is.
You stayed there. It's a free breakfast. Yeah. They have a nice pool. They have a nice hot tub. They have a nice gym. They have a nice arcade. It's fine.
No,
Dominic,
it's nice,
Dominic, it was early. It was like 8:00 when we got back to the room. Dominic decided he wanted to go to Disney Springs. He went to Disney Springs. He got Pizza Ponte, he told me, and he went to see Beetlejuice. And then he got an Uber back to the hotel. But I was passed out. I was so tired.
Well, what did he say? Did he like it or?
Yeah, he liked it. Yeah. Okay. Michael saw it the week before. Oh. And Michael, I came home from my trip with Rich, and Michael had a Beetlejuice poster on his wall.
Dang.
Yeah.
Wow.
Anyway, yeah. The next day was Magic Kingdom. I woke up at 6:50, whatever, and got Tiana. I think our return time was, I think we were like number 42 or something like that. And the ride went, when we got to Magic Kingdom, the ride was down. Shocker.
Of course.
We also had a multi-pass Lightning Lane return time for Tiana at 11:30. Now, Dominic and I were off site, so we had to make these at the 3-day mark. When I made my initial Lightning Lane selections, Tiana's was not available. But like we used to do back in the days of Fast Pass, Veronica would sit on the couch and just hit refresh while she was watching TV. That's what I did with Tiana. And by the night after I made my selections, I was able to get Tiana's Bayou Adventure. I got one at 2:30, and then later, the next day, I was able to modify it to 11:30. I had a lightning lane for Tiana, and I had the virtual queue. What happened was I had Standby Skipper, remember. The ride was down at 11:30. So my initial lightning lane turned into a multi-experience pass, which could be used on a whole bevy of rides, including Tiana. So I told Standby Skipper, you know what? Look for another Tiana for me. And it did. And it found me one at 1:30. So what I was able to do was ride Tiana with the multi-experience return time and ride it again with a 1:30 lightning lane and the virtual queue. So that's the beauty of it, of the Standby Skipper, really. So we came into Magic Kingdom. We had in our pocket $9.25 PhilharMagic, which I had considered a throwaway. We were just going to go tap and walk away. Dominic decided he wanted to see it. He hadn't seen it in a few years. He had never seen the Coco scene. So we did actually go in to PhilharMagic. So whatever. So at $9.25 we tapped, and I told Standby Skipper to start looking for, I want to say Big Thunder. Yeah. What we had initially was $9.25 PhilharMagic, $11.30 Tiana, $11.50 Pirates. So I wanted a Big Thunder somewhere in that time frame, so we weren't crisscrossing the park. And it got me a Big Thunder at $12.10. So it was Tiana $11.30, Big Thunder $12.10, Pirates $11.50. So it all worked out in there. But the thing that happened was Tiana was down. So what we did was we rode the train around a couple of times, and then it was time to go ride Big Thunder. We rode Big Thunder, and when we got off Big Thunder, Tiana was back up. So we rode Tiana, and then we went and rode Pirates, because you have that hour window. So we could have rode Pirates anytime up to 12:50. So we played with that hour, so we didn't have to crisscross. So that was good.
Yeah, right on. So
Yeah.
what did you think about Tiana?
This is what Dominic said. He said, it's nice, Mom, but it's missing something. And he thought about it. And then we were driving home. He goes, I realized it's missing conflict. I think he's right. It's missing conflict. You're not being chased. You're not looking for somebody. I just feel like he's right about that. The story, he's like, they needed to put in, Dr. Facilier. They really needed to get him in there. And I know that would mess up the storyline and the space-time continuum, but they needed a villain. They needed something.
Slip Chucky in there or something.
Get him from Small World. I don't know. It was beautiful. The ride is beautiful. The animatronics are beautiful. The scenery is beautiful. But I think he's right about that. Truthfully, so when 1:30 came, so this is what happened. By the time we rode Pirates, we now were able to pick up a 1:30 return time for Haunted Mansion. And Dominic wanted to go to Columbia Harbor House for lunch. So that worked out. So we got 1:35 for Haunted Mansion and 1:30 for Tiana. And Dominic said, I really don't want to ride Tiana again. So we wound up we wound up canceling that 1:30 Tiana and getting I want to say Buzz Lightyear. Yeah.
Oh no. I would have rode Tiana again. He is right about that. Because now that I'm thinking about it, yeah, it's just a little mundane. It's just like everything's happy and smelly and smelling good and food, and yeah, you're right. He's totally right about that.
But in the thing that I love about this kid is we're going through the queue, and he's like, Mom, I love this. I love this aesthetic. This is my aesthetic. Like, this kid's 21 years old, and I love this aesthetic. I love that 1920s. Okay, Dom, that's great. I love you. I love that kid. So
you know what?
Yeah,
They should have an alligator like come out of the water or something. That would have been
and
fun.
chase
It's
you.
in a bayou. Yeah, it's in a bayou, or a
Mhm.
boa constrictor come falling down on top of you, or
Mhm.
something close to you.
Mhm.
See, he's right. Something close to you.
Mhm.
See, he's right.
Oh, we also ate that creme brulee croissant. We waited in line at Gaston's. After we did Fill Her Magic at 9:25, we went straight to Gaston's, and the line was bananas. But I had told myself I really wanted to try this thing. So we waited. It was good. And let me give you a little hint. If people there were people at Gaston's. Gaston's does not have enough seating. Does not have enough seating inside or outside the place. And there are people standing around trying to finagle their cinnamon buns while they're standing against a wall or sitting on the ground. If you just take a few steps back in toward Fantasyland, you can go to Pinocchio's and there's plenty of seating. So that's what we did. We took our creme brulee croissant. There was no place to sit. I said, we're going to Pinocchio's. And we went and sat at Pinocchio's where there was plenty of seating. So do that. That's an insider tip.
Good tip
from me. But yeah, the creme brulee croissant was really good. But now I'm off of carbs completely. So yeah. Yeah.
No more croissants for you.
No more croissants for me. Not for a while. Saw Country Bear Jamboree. It was wonderful. Did you see it yet?
No, I have not.
Oh, I loved it, Dave. I loved it. I feel like they really brightened it up. The costumes were bright. The songs were cheery. I loved it. I really did. I really did. I kind of wish Big Al had a better part, but that's okay. That's all I'm going to say about that. I'll let you see it.
It was never on my to-do list before, so we'll see what happens. Maybe it'll be on my
It's really cute. It's really, really cute. Yeah. And then it was time to ride Tron. I had bought the lightning lane for Tron, the individual lightning lane, which was like 20 something bucks a pop.
Oh, ouch.
Yeah, it hurt, but I wanted the kid to get to ride it. Since they took it off VQ, I would have gotten VQ for it. Being that I had the Tiana lightning lane, I would have not done VQ for Tiana. I would have done VQ for Tron instead.
Right.
But they got rid of VQ for Tron just a few weeks ago. And now the line is 155 minutes. Like, it's crazy, these wait times. For a 60-second ride, they want you to wait more than 2 hours. I'm not going to do that.
And it's not all that either.
No, it's not.
That ride's not all
It's not. It's not. But he had never ridden it. He wanted to ride it. And we did. And we, right before I got on, my magic band fell off, like in my hand. It just fell off. And the cast member was like, I'm like fiddling with it. And finally, I just throw it in that storage bin in the front.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't think anything of it. Got off the ride, got my magic band, went on along my way. My picture never showed up because I wasn't wearing it. It was like inside the bin, and I guess it didn't pick up. I guess it didn't pick up the signal. So I did put in a request from PhotoPass to look for it. And it's been almost a week. It's been a week. Yeah. Well, it'll be a week on Monday. And that's today. Yeah, it's been a week. They never found it. I don't know how they didn't find this picture. I told them exactly where I was, what I was wearing. I gave them a picture of me and Dominic from another ride photo so they could see what we look like. And I don't know. They never found it. So whatever. We had a return time for Buzz at 3, but Dominic was like, you know what, Mom, I'm ready to go. So we went. We left, stopped at the confectionery for something for Michael, and got on the road. So that was our weekend.
Well, that was a lot. You guys got a lot in there.
Yeah.
You got Tron for him the first time. You got Tiana, Country Bears, all the stuff. You hit it all, and got to go to Food and Wine again.
Yeah, I got to see Kevin again. Yeah.
Did you see anybody that was up to the par of Tiffany by any chance when you were at Epcot?
No, I did not see.
No,
I did not see the musical act that weekend.
Because, she is man, she's top notch, man.
I think you guys are jerks. I think Tiffany was wonderful.
She was wonderful. She seemed like a wonderful person. She just doesn't have a wonderful voice.
I think she does. I disagree.
No, she's okay. I mean, she's okay. If you're church choir voice type thing,
whatever.
The best singer in a church. Well, there's been some good singers in churches, though. Gotta take that back. I take that back. My mom
All
used
right.
to sing in the church, and she's got a wonderful voice.
So now I got pictures of Kevin and Deborah, but I don't have pictures of me and Dominic on Tron.
You'll survive. It's going to be okay, Toni-Ann.
Yeah, no Tron picture. Never found it. Oh, well. Dominic liked Tron. He really did. But he said I wouldn't wait 2 hours for it.
What time was it? Did you guys ride it?
We rode it at 3 o'clock, like 2:30, 2:30, 3 o'clock.
I want to
yeah.
ride it at night. I'm hoping at night it might be a little bit better.
Oh, I love it at night. I've ridden it at night. I love it at night, but
Yeah. So he likes Tron, huh? Okay. Good.
yeah. But he was very interested in how long it was. As soon as we got off it, he Googled how long it was, and it was 60 seconds. The ride is 60 seconds. He rode Space Mountain. Skipper got us a Space Mountain return time too. Right, I forgot about that. I didn't ride, but Skipper got us a Space Mountain. So Skipper got us. I have it written down. I did a thing.
So how's his back? How's his back doing?
Oh, he's fine. He's 21. He can do.
that's
He can
true.
still do that
That's true.
stuff.
That's true.
A day at Magic Kingdom with Skipper. 9:25 PhilharMagic, 11:30 Tiana's Bayou Adventure, 11:50 Pirates, 12:10 Big Thunder, 1:35 Haunted Mansion, 2:10. I would say Tiana's second one was at 2:10, 2:25 Space Mountain, 3:30 Buzz Lightyear. And if we wanted to, we could have kept going for the rest of the. We could have gotten everything else. We could have gotten everything else.
And this podcast has been brought to you by
No, it's not. And that's
Stand by Skipper. Skipper
no, but
Canteen.
it's really not. We are not getting paid. I'm not getting paid for this. I just really, this app is doing the work for you. If you used to be on your phone in the old days of FastPass, refreshing, this does it for you, so you don't have to have your face in the phone. And then you just you're sitting at lunch and you get a notification. Oh, it just got me Tiana's Bayou Adventure at 2:10.
No, our friend Glenn Kessler was not that impressed.
No, you see, and I disagree with him though. I don't know. I disagree with him. But he has a problem where he cannot keep out of the phone. He cannot not mess with things. That's his.
Well,
that's a
that kinda
personality
That
flaw.
sounds like you. Hello.
No, I don't mess with. This program, I let it do its thing. And the thing that everybody I've heard that didn't like it because it would get them a time that they didn't like. Like it would get them 5 o'clock for Space Mountain.
Mhm.
If it gets you 5 o'clock for Space Mountain, cancel it, and tell Skipper, no, look for one in the afternoon. Look for one before 4 o'clock. Look for one before noon. Look for one. And the
Right.
Skipper, look for one within the next 2 hours. That's one of the choices. Look for one within the next 2 hours. If you don't like what Skipper gives you, dump it and tell Skipper, try again. And it will get you what you want. It always has for me. And I have gotten undesirable times. And I've said, nope, not going to do that. And I cancel it. And I say, Skipper, try again. And Skipper tries again. And Skipper gets what I want. So,
Wow. Okay.
yeah,
This is
I'm getting a lot of notes that I've been feisty lately.
You are a little feisty there, man. That's okay. We got it. We got it now. You like Skipper. You like
I
the
like
Skipper.
Skipper.
Okay. You're going to get you a little hat that says Skipper on it.
But Dave, I got to tell you something. That day at Magic Kingdom, before the Skipper, there were two of us between the Tron Lightning Lanes and the Multipass Lightning Lane. It was $100 for two of us. I can't do that all the time. As a pass holder, I can't do that every time I go. I have to pick and choose. This was a special day with Dominic. It was going to be a ride heavy day because he's a ride kid. But if I'm going with Rich and you guys, I don't need it. I don't need Multipass to walk around Epcot with my friends. So I think different trips are going to have different needs, and I might not get Multipass on every trip or every day of every trip. So
yeah, okay. Well, I'm glad it worked out for you.
Yeah, and Dominic had a good time, and yeah,
a little painful in the pocketbook, but hey, you're there and you've done it. You've had good memories, and that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
All right, Toni-Ann.
All right, David.
Well, I just want to say that we're recording this on Monday, the 30th of September, and this is Podcaster Day.
Is it?
This is, yes.
I didn't know that.
Happy Podcaster Day to all you podcasters out there.
Very nice. We know a couple of podcasters.
Just a few. A couple.
We know a few.
Yeah, if you don't have one, go ahead and start one. It's the thing to do now. Start a podcast.
Yep.
Encourage it. I encourage everybody to have a podcast. Everybody should have a podcast. You should have a podcast. You should have a podcast.
Okay,
Everybody should have a
Oprah.
podcast. Everybody should have a podcast. All right, Tony.
All right.
All right, I guess that's going to do it for this week's Disney Crush podcast. We'll see you guys next week.
Bye.